Now let's do a little little update on this. It's like a plastic tub, probably around 20 liters in it, and I made it for a crab, Sesarma bidens, which is a mangrove, small mangrove crab. It needs a little bit of land, anything really to come up here. It has one root here, and then it has another root there, where it can just chill out when it wants to be outside of the water. But and then after a while, I started because we had to redo that aquarium where it used to be. So we redid it and did something else. So we need a housing for it, but it had to thrive. So it was doing well. But then at some stage, I got lots and lots of small white microworms in it, and the crab doesn't eat them. So I put a few more black bar guppy, male and female, and of course they got some babies. So to keep the quality of water really well, I put in lots of floating plants. Actually, all sorts of plants that are floating about and around, even some Vallisneria nana. But duckweed is the main thing that really is taking off, and you can see just how much. So basically today I'm trying to remove it, not all of it, just some, because that is the way to basically reduce some of the nutrients from the bioload, right? By removing those overgrown plants. Now I took it out of the water, it's not going to go back in there. If you have fish that's going to eat this duckweed, it would just basically return it to the water. I find it's far better to reduce the bioload. And I use a fork, clean fork of course, that I use only for this kind of stuff. And it's so far easier to actually fork it out, so to say, or so to speak, to fork out these small tiny plants, because they do have long roots below the water surface, and they get entangled easily into the fork. So there's also some other like plants, bigger plants here inside called frogbit. Let me see if I can show. Has huge long roots. Frogbit. So let me see. And I also have a little pump inside that's circulating the water, which also helps. I'm not going to remove too much, but I want to open up just a little bit. So to remove the nutrients, but also not to choke the water surface agitation, or the kind of where the what's it called, the oxygen exchange or the gas exchange is happening. So I prefer to have it slightly bit open. So this is really cool. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, the fork, I used to pick them up before, the duckweed, with a spoon, but they would always kind of fly. I was like, why are they flying out? Of course, because the water that would spill over the spoon would just take all the duckweed with it. So, but this fork is really cool. I guess one can also use it with a pin set, the one for planting that we use for aquascaping. But I find this one to be really good fork. I have some Salvinia. Let me see, is this Salvinia? Yeah, I have a few maybe Salvinia natans floating as well here. They are good, yeah. I don't want to pick them up. I would actually prefer for that Salvinia, there is Salvinia, just smaller plant, or bigger than duckweed, so actually easier to pick up or reduce in case you needed to. This is cool. Yeah, that's it. Let me see if I can give you an inside shot. Let's see like this. Whoops, sorry for the shakiness. Yeah, there are some fish in there. There are guppies, and here's the pump, and then behind the pump you can maybe see, maybe not, a exoskeleton of the crab, because it just molted the other day. And trust me, it's alive. I can see. Yeah, you can't see it from here, but it's behind that root. So this one is. I had two of them, or we had two of them. But it was actually in Kai's paludarium, but one of them died last year, but this one seems to be living Pretty cool. Anyway, seems to be a good aquarium for them. So, and that's the update on this 20 liters crab holding aquarium.